And we're live. It's Wake Up Your Badass with Jake and Joy from jakeandjoy.com. Hey guys, thanks for jamming in here every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. We bring you tips and tricks to help you have an unstoppable life you love. And today we're going to talk about some surprising reasons that everybody might want to think about having a side hustle. So if you're joining us live, we'd love to hear from where you're jumping on from. And if you're listening to this as a recording, just replay in the bottom below. But we're happy to have you. We hope that you're following us here on our Facebook page, but also we apparently are on Twitter.
Yes, we are. We're on Twitter. Our handle is Jake and Joy, all spelled out. Feel free to follow us there. And we're also on Instagram, and you can witness my mom's attempts at Insta stories. They're really great. And so our handle on Instagram is Jake and Joy Kelly, all spelled out. And the one thing I want to say about all the platforms that we're on is that we share different stuff on all the platforms. So it's not like you're like going to see the same thing over and over again. If you follow us everywhere, we put different stuff in each place. So we'd love to have you follow us on all of those platforms.
Yeah, thanks so much for being with us. You know, we're now putting out content quite a bit. We hope that you're getting a lot of value out of it. We're also really bringing everything that we do under one umbrella, because before we kind of felt like we were split, like, well, we work in health and wellness, but we're also really great at helping entrepreneurs build businesses and helping people build a side hustle with us. And so we never really talked about them together, but they really are all part of who we are. So you can start to see that, and also you can start to think about that for yourself. And we're going to actually do one episode just on that, about how do you bring all the pieces of who you are together. But if you follow us, you'll be able to see that, our cooking show and all of our healthy tips, as well as Wednesdays, which are always about waking up your badass to be the entrepreneur that you were born to be. You know, I love that saying that's really popular right now, meant for more. So we're going to dive right in and talk about, hi, Don. Nice to see you. We're going to dive right in, and we're going to talk today about 4 surprising reasons you want to build a side hustle. And, you know, a lot of times people get involved, they have a lot of side gigs. There's like Uber drivers and dog walkers, and Jake was saying nannies, and, you know, people that are doing all these little side. I have a friend right now that's working in retail. He's an engineer, and he's taking a retail job, making $12 an hour, because of one of the reasons that we're going to tell you about today. Usually when people take on a side hustle, it's because they're just trying to make ends meet, right?
Right.
You all have friends that work multiple jobs. Here in Santa Barbara, almost everybody who's not like wealthy works multiple jobs to make it work here. I was talking to some people, and, you know, like that's just the way it is here. Like, just everybody has 2, 3, 4 jobs. So that's cool. You know, that's cool if you have to do that to make ends meet, and it lets you live where you want to live, and lets you kind of piece together a full-time job. But Jake, what are some other reasons that people might want to think about having a side hustle that have nothing to do with like, because you might be thinking to yourself, well, I got a good job, everything's cool.
Yeah. I know you said, you know, obviously to create more income, but, you know, maybe there's something that you're not doing. You're like, I'm just okay that I'm not doing it because I don't have the money for it. So it's not like a thing that's like I have to do. But if you have more money, you'd like to do. Maybe it's put your kid in a private school, or to put your kid onto the elite sports team that travels. And so maybe it's something like that, or maybe it's maybe you'd like to get a new car. You don't need a new car, but you'd like to get a new car. You know, maybe you'd like to start a college fund for a grandkid or your own kid. And, you know, things that you just have like, well, I don't have room for that, but everything else is covered. Right. So some extra side things that way.
Last week on our webinar, if you guys haven't seen our webinar, you can ask to get the replay. We'll send you a link for that. It's pretty, really great with Stephen Ritz. And one of the things we talked about was, how can you get involved with the charity that you're really passionate about? A lot of times people think, well, I don't have time. But if you built a side hustle that made money, you could donate that.
Right.
You know, you could, and a lot of people who are involved in their churches give a certain percent of their income to their church. So you might want to think about it from that standpoint. But my friend who took the job at this retail shop, he wants to become a better beer brewer. And so he got a job at a beer brewing shop so he can learn. And a lot of people do that. Like I could imagine like getting a job. Well, like you, Jake, you volunteered at the cat shelter. You could have gotten paid to work at the cat shelter, and you learn these valuable tips about taking out cat eyeballs.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yep. I got to learn all the things I wanted to learn about working with animals, that I maybe wouldn't have gotten to do otherwise. So
cool.
Yeah.
So the second thing is, it's to pay off debt, because a lot of times we don't think about like the running credit card balance that we have, or we don't think about our student loans. We don't think about this debt that we have and how to actually pay it off. We make the monthly minimum payments, and then we're just going to have it for the rest of our lives. Anybody out there have that running debt that they just think of as, well, I'm going to probably have that when I die?
Yeah.
But if you've got a side hustle, you could actually start to pay that debt off. 44 million Americans right now have a side gig. I found that pretty shocking.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, that's really amazing.
So a third reason to build is really kind of an exciting one, and it really is attractive to me, and that's building wealth.
Yeah,
I know that you and your husband save a certain amount of, because your husband's a pilot and your business is great, but I don't think you need it to live, do you?
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But so one of the things that we're really passionate about and interested in is using the extra money that we can make to build more wealth. Like as you just mentioned, that the idea of investing, learning how to invest in stocks. So my husband, he's sort of starting to play around with that a little bit, and on a small scale, so it kind of gets it figured out. But the idea of buying some rental property, or investing in things that are going to create bigger wealth for us. Because we really feel like, and I know that, Mom, you agree that the more income streams you have, the better. I'd rather have five separate income streams, each producing $10,000 a month, than one that produces $50,000 a month, because you never know what's going to happen with what you're doing. So, yeah.
And I think it's really important that everybody have at least one residual income stream, something that is on autopilot, that is going to bring in money month after month, because you never know what's going to happen to me. In fact, this just happened today. My housekeeper, who's in her 60s, called me from the hospital. She fell volunteering at the animal shelter and broke her leg and her wrist. And she is now going to be out of work for 6 weeks. Oh, and she doesn't have any residual income coming in. Now she's got savings that she can live on, but that's not the same thing. Yeah. So, that's a really important thing to be able to have. My husband and I were able to take our extra money and buy a triplex in Santa Barbara. So it's really great. Now I have multiple streams of residual income, which I love having. Yeah. The fourth reason is really what drew Jake and I into the business that we're in. We're in network marketing. We're in a health and wellness company. And I saw this as a career. I was a single mom at the time, and I was working all over the place. I had side gigs everywhere. I was waiting tables. I was teaching aerobics. I was working as a personal trainer. I mean, whatever I could do to bring in income, I was doing. And I saw this opportunity as a way for me to, not right away, it wasn't going to be an overnight thing. It's not like you can't go to the gym in one day and then all of a sudden you're fit. You do a little bit every day, right? And that's how building a side gig is. But I saw that this could be a career for me. And Jake, I know that you saw that for you too. Can you talk a little bit about?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it did take me a while to get to that place, to see that this is something that I wanted to do. Obviously I'd watched my mom do this for a really long time, and I thought that it was awesome. I thought that what you could create was awesome, but it took me a little while to see how I could do it. But once I finally did, it went from like 0 to all in. Like there wasn't like I'm just going to use this to build a little extra income. Like I immediately saw this as a full-time thing. And I was managing my parents' vertical aeroponic farm in Santa Barbara. And I had really realized that there was a cap to the income that I could earn. I knew that I had maxed out what I was going to be able to do with that particular job. Even though I loved it and it was really rewarding and amazing, there was a definite ceiling, and I knew that wasn't going to be enough for my life forever. You just, on my end, you disappeared. Are you still there?
Yeah.
You went black.
You can't see me?
I don't know if you can hear me, if I can hear her. I don't know if you're talking or if I'm talking, but yeah. So I jumped in full steam ahead.
I never went anywhere.
It was so weird. Like your screen where you are went totally black.
I typed a comment in, and maybe that's why it happened.
Oh.
Saying hi.
I was like, I don't know who can hear me. But so I worked my side hustle alongside with my full-time job, and I was so excited about it that in every free moment I was working on my side hustle. I was so inspired and motivated to do that it didn't feel like work. It didn't feel hard. It was like all I wanted to do was have breaks so that I could work on my side hustle. So yeah, but I knew that it was going to be my full-time thing ultimately.
So you got born into your network marketing company, right? And network marketing isn't necessarily right for everybody. It's not. I mean, what I love is that it's a low investment to get involved. It's something that you can kind of stuff into the corners of your days. There's no ceiling on what you can make. But not everybody has the belief in themselves that they can actually do that. But if you do, or you want to, there are a few things that you want to think about when you're checking out network marketing companies. Now, like I said, Jake was born into her network marketing. Doing another one, I think that there would have been some serious repercussions.
Yeah.
But what, knowing what you know now, Jake, what would you tell people to look for when they're looking for a network marketing? And you guys, if you already are in a network marketing company, listen to this like from the eyes of
your prospects.
Your prospect, but also for you, like for some people, like one of my top reps, a couple of my top reps were with other companies before, and it just wasn't the right fit for them. And we're going to lay out what you might want to look at when you're looking at joining a network marketing company or changing companies or adding a company to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So the most important thing, in my opinion, is to look at whether or not you like the products, so you believe in the products that the company is selling. That whatever it is that you're.
I would take it further than that. It's not just liking and believing. Like you got to be like crazy passionate. Like believe that this product or service that you have could absolutely change someone's life. In my opinion. I think there are other people that get involved in network marketing that.
I think that a lot of people. I think there are a lot of people that look at the business first. They're like, is this business model the one that I want? And then the product is secondary. And that's what I was saying is that I think that is inaccurate. I think you have to have a belief in the products and that you really feel passionate about the products. And then you can look at the rest of it. It can't be like, oh, well, am I going to make a bunch of money with this? And then it doesn't matter what the products are.
There is a lot of that going on right now. There's a lot of get rich quick schemes out there, and it's like the old school network marketing where it's an upfront thing. It's like, we call that a front loaded marketing plan. And our company used to be like that you would buy $2,500 worth of products, and then you would get promoted to this certain rank. And that's called front loading. And that's not a sustainable amount of income because those are big ticket items that not everybody can sell.
Right.
Not everybody can.
Right.
So you might want to rethink that if that's something that you're thinking about. What's the second thing that people want to look at?
The second thing then look at, the company behind the products, right? So yeah, first the products, then you want to look at the company. Is the company something or some people that you want to align with? Is how they are running their business the way that you want to be involved with, because that's really, really important. If a company's got a really awesome product, but the company themselves is shady, then that probably is not going to be a good fit either.
And you might also want to look at like how long they've been around. There's such this misconception that you got to get in on the ground floor. And that, once again, my friends, is a hallmark of shadiness. When someone says you want to get in on the ground floor, that means that it's not a lasting opportunity. The company that we work for is almost 50 years old. But anybody starting today has the same opportunity. And in fact, people do sign up and pass their sponsor. It happens all the time. But whenever someone says you want to get a ground floor opportunity, that means that they're planning on going out of business.
Yeah.
That's all that means.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You want to look at the history of the company. You want to really dig in. If it is a new company, you want to look at what's the history of the people who are running it. Like, have they had other companies that have gone under? Is this the same company that's gone under a couple of times, reemerging as with a different name? So really digging in, not just not just getting distracted by their great marketing ploy, the bright shininess of it, the excitingness of it. Really do some research and like make it, this is a business choice that you're making, and you want to be smart. You want to be really smart and as much as you can, keep your emotions out of the business part of the decision. Yes, you want to be emotionally invested in the products. When it comes to the business side, and so take them. If you think the products are awesome, but you think the company's shitty, use their products. Like, take their products, cool. But don't align yourself with a company that you don't trust the morals of those who are running it.
Yeah, and just on that note, I know it's not what you were saying, but I will not sign someone up as a rep that doesn't believe enough in our products to use them regularly. I just had someone's team way down in my genealogy, and I found out that he's not even using the products. I'm like, what the hell? Why would you even want to do that? You should take this stuff. I don't take it, but you should.
Yeah, right.
I want to say something about the shiny marketing plan, because a lot of times people look at that. There is an algorithm to how much a company can pay. And if they pay more than that, they're going to go out of business. And if they pay less than that, the distributors aren't going to be happy. And what usually happens is that a company, when they first starts to pay out more. They start to pay out like 70% on the dollar. And then they switch the marketing plan up in a few months, a few years. And so they bring it down way below 50%. 50% is where the company can make money and the distributors can stay happy. So that's including the bonuses and all of that stuff. So that's a tried and proven number that I have learned about in the 24 years that I've been doing this.
Yeah.
What else?
One other one. This might be the last one. But one other one is look at who's in the organization. So not like, yes, you look at the company, then who's in the organization that you're looking at joining. So like who are the mentors, who are you're going to be learning from, what kind of systems do they have in place for you to grow your business, and do you like the people that you're going to be building alongside with? Do you like them? Do you feel like you have similar values? Because you really get embedded with these people. They become your family. You spend a lot of time with them, and so you want to make sure that they are like who you want to be aligned with. And I think what happens for a lot of people is that they stumble into a company because someone in their life brings it to them, and so you join it because that's when it was brought to you, and so you join it without looking at other companies, whether or not this is the right company for you. You sort of just like stumble into it. I think that's how a lot of people end up switching companies, because they didn't do their due diligence beforehand, because they just got excited by their friends telling them to join their business. So that's if you can take a step back and really, really look at it from a business perspective. And I also think people that also start taking products from a company that they like, and then they just sort of fall into the business again without really looking at, is this the right fit for me in terms of a business?
Yeah, and it's not just about the fact that you might not like these people. It's because you don't have to be best friends with your team. Oftentimes we do become best friends, we do become like family, but you have to have either have to resonate with them or have great respect for them and know that they're going to really teach you. Because I've run into a few people who are, number one, not getting any support from their upline, number two, getting support that they don't want to hear, like you can't build online and stuff like that. Right. So if that's happening for you, it might be a time that you want to take a look around. And, Jake and I would love to be on a video chat with you and talk about, because we have some products that we only have two main products, and one of them no other company has. So if that's something that interests you, you can go to our jakeandjoy.com and fill out our work with us survey, and we'll set up a time to jump on a quick 15-minute video chat with you. And Jake, maybe you can put a link to that in the comment section. Yeah. The other thing is that if you're with a company that you're really married to and you love it, but you want to learn how to have people coming to you instead of you chasing after friends and family, you might want to check out Attraction Marketing Formula, which is where we started. And Jake will post a link to that as well. So you can check that out. It's a inexpensive little book. You'll probably want to go on from there, but to get started, it's just $27. So check that out. I think you'll really like it. But I have an amazing joke for today. We've been waiting all day to tell this.
I was gonna say, we were on the phone just before this, and she was like, "Oh my God, I had the best joke ever! I can't wait to tell it." I was like, "Okay."
I'm gonna see if you guys think it's funny. So give me a heart if you think it's funny. So a man is on his deathbed. It's funny already, right?
Yeah, hilarious.
Man's on his deathbed, and his wife calls his son. They've been estranged for many years, and he says, "Hey," she says, "listen, your dad's going to die, and I would really hate for him to die without you two reconciling." And they've been estranged so long that the man has a boy who's older and has never met his grandpa. And so he brings his son to meet his grandfather. And after a little bit, the grandson says, "I'd like to spend a little bit of time with Grandpa so I could hear about his life and so he can tell me about it." And so the grandpa on his deathbed, saying, "I've had a great life, Sonny. I have met the Dalai Lama. I've swum in the Dead Sea. I've gone out with supermodels. I've really had a great life. And the only thing that I wish that I had done was I saw this great big bird on a lake, and I never got a picture with that bird." With his dying breath, he says to his grandson, "It's the biggest egret of my life."
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
All right, that's all we got today for Jake and Joy. This is Wake Up Your Badass. We hope you like it. If you do, share it with someone. If you got value out of this, you might want to take some notes. I always try to take notes when I'm preparing for this, and I like to take notes after I listen to somebody that I learned something from, and then share it with someone. And as Jake says, what should they do? Follow us.
I was like, what do you want to do?
I've never seen this before.
Like, what are you talking about?
I've never done this before.
As Jake says, what should they do? I've never heard you say that before. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, and yeah, we'd love and get in our on our mailing list as well if you aren't already.
Hey, it's great talking with everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow with a podcast with Chad Fischel. He's going to talk about the differences between a startup business in the real world and startup business in the pretend world known as network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a really good call. He has been a backer in several startups and is also using our vertical growing technology in one of them. So it's going to be a really good podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.